Welcome. If you're watching this video, you're in my calculus course, and this video is different than most of them in that it's not just going to be math on the screen. In fact, it's going to be no math on the screen. You're going to see a demonstration of a really cool sequence that can be found mathematically using modular arithmetic. We'll get to that, but we're going to first demonstrate it with a strip of paper and a small toy. Now for the toy, make sure there's like a face or it's a car, like a little Pokemon. I'm using a Monopoly car. And the reason that's important is you want to know what direction it's going. It's easy to see that this is going, one direction or another, depending on where the front of the Monopoly car is pointing. And you'll also want your notes either printed out or on a tablet. But really, as long as you have blank paper, you can follow along, since I'm going to give you the directions to write down on this. Okay, so as you can see, I have the supplies down on the table in front of me, my toy car, my strip of paper, and then you should have a pencil out. I'm using a marker so you can see it better on the screen. And the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and mark one of the smaller ends. And I should use some scratch paper for this so I don't get it all over this paper. So mark one of the smaller ends on both sides. This just helps me keep it oriented a bit better. And then I'm going to do the same thing on one of the longer ends. So I'm going to go ahead and just color it. You should do the same thing. Now, the reason I suggest you do this is to help keep this oriented. You want to keep this little black end facing away from you and the long black end facing towards your face. So my face is here and I can see my paper. I'm going to keep mine at an angle a bit so you can see the folding better. So I guess my face would be here in this perspective. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this front black end and fold it down. So we're in essence folding it to our right. And there it is. And now I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. I'm going to do it a few more times, but let's start with just simple, 2 folds. Now, being very careful to keep the orientation the same, go ahead and open it up, and then open it up again. And don't stretch it out, let it kind of fold in its natural position. The only thing you're going to want to do is adjust these so they all look like 90-degree angles. Right now this one's a bit acute, and you don't have to get it exact, but there we go. I have about 90-degree angles, and this black end is still in the front. Okay, so now that I have my strip of paper, I'm going to take my Monopoly car and I'm going to start driving it here. And so when I drive my car from my perspective, let me hold this up to make it easier to see. From my perspective, it's really easy to see that this car is turning to the right. And then here it gets to this other corner and it turns to the right again. And then I'll hold the car here as carefully as I can without obstructing your view, which is tricky. So now if I were in my car and I want to make this last turn, I have to turn to the left. So see if you can follow that. So I'm going to do this again, lower down where I can hold this. So this is first a right turn, and then it is another right turn, and then a left turn. So what's important about this, and I don't want to get a permanent marker on my nice table, so let me just keep the magazine under here. There. So what's important about this is that every time we turn to the right, we're going to say that that is equal to the number 1. And every time that we turn to the left, we're going to say that's equal to the number 0. Okay, so my car goes right one time. It goes right again another time, and then it goes left. So that's right, right, left. So my sequence, and I'll write that just down here, is right, right, left. Okay, so let's do this with a few more folds. So this time let's go ahead. And so if our paper were straight, here is that small flat end up to the front. The darker end is here, and that's the end I'm keeping towards my face. I'm gonna fold the small dark end down. So in essence, you're again folding your paper to your right. You're doing it again, that's twice. Now let's do it again, and always this end that's away from you, always fold that down. And let's do it again a fourth time. And any more folds in this, and I think it becomes a little tricky to visualize this with your paper, so let's just stick with these 4 folds. And then go ahead and open it up. And remember, don't straighten it out completely. Oops. Just make sure everything is a right angle. So I'm gonna go back and just give everything a nice fold and ensure it is about a right angle. So you should do the same thing right now. Okay, so here's mine folded, and let me hold it up. And so hopefully you can see that my card is not going to start here at the end with a dark tip. So here's the dark tip that we marked. That's the end, not the beginning. So I'm going to start here, and my card is starting facing in this direction. Okay, so my card starting here, it goes right, right, left, and this is where we left off. And now it's going to go right. So I'm going to try to hold this here with one hand and write a number 1 for right. Then it goes right again. Then it goes left. So pause your video and see if you can't finish this sequence of lefts and rights. And I'm going to do it one more time in case you need to see it before you pause. Let me do it one more time in case you need to see it before you pause. And my card goes right, that's this, right again, left, right. Then it's here and it goes right on this turn and left. So now you have to figure out the rest of this turn sequence. So please pause your video and do that. Okay, now that you paused your video, you should have the same sequence of 0s and 1s that I have. So again, our card does a right turn, and then it does another right turn, so that's 1, 1. And then a left turn, that's a 0. Right turn, 1. Another right turn, 1. A left turn, 0. Another left turn, 0. A right turn, 1. And this corner here again is going to be another right turn, another right turn. So that's 1, 1, 1, a left, a right, and a left. Oh, and I left off one last 0, our final left here. So after folding this piece of paper 4 times, we end up with this sequence. I hope you found this video fun and helpful. Frankly, the fun part is more important. It is stuff like this that really piqued my interest in mathematics as a kid. So enjoy.